Hey guys, welcome to another dual commentary. I have Color SC alongside, and this is going to be between JangBi and XellOs. It should be an interesting match. XellOs has really been slumping, and by I mean slumping, in the last 10 games he hasn't won a lot, but part of that is just because he's been really competitive leagues. He got knocked out of the OSL, he got knocked out of the MSL, I think in that set actually by JangBi. And JangBi on the other hand, I think he's been really on the rise. XellOs actually was on a rise for a while just before that, being kind of the not the up and coming, the reviving veteran. Perfect Terran, hasn't been in form that high a form, but had a really good MSL Season 3, a miserable MSL Season 4, and an MSL Season 4 we saw JangBi just come out of nowhere. JangBi, really, I feel like his best matchup is Terran, simply because he's just so good at big unit, big grouping micromanagement. He's good at just moving really big groups of troops all over the map, and he really is a Terran killer. So my question is what does XellOs have to deal with JangBi here? But being that it's on hwarangdo and it is that one gas map, he could very well be prepared just because of the map set.
Yeah, I think actually XellOs could be quite prepared just from the games I've seen. He is an old school player. I think the last time he won a championship was in 2003 against Yellow, so that does show his age a little bit. But I do think that a lot of the old school players are more creative in their builds. They didn't sort of grow up in experience in this sort of macro heavy sort of map style that recent years have shown. When they were younger, when they were playing, just starting off, he was playing on rather micro-intensive maps where you didn't have easy-to-hold natural expansions. And hwarangdo kind of reminds me of the sort of the old maps where you had fewer mineral patches, or you wouldn't have gas at your natural expansion. That guy looks like Flash, actually. Does that look like Flash to you, Diggity?
And I can't say hwarangdo either, really. Someone's got to correct
me.
Someone's got to tell us the actual pronunciation. I tried asking.
Hwarangdo.
Hwarangdo. Anyway, in the meantime, it looks like XellOs is starting to seal up his front door, which suggests to me he might be thinking about doing a little bit of cheese, or he might just be trying to throw JangBi out. We'll see. JangBi actually might be going for some cheese here. He's got a probe at that 9 o'clock position kind of hidden in. My question is what is he up to there? It doesn't look like he's going to continue with that scout, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he lost his mind. Usually, guys like JangBi, though, they don't do that kind of flippantly. XellOs, in the meantime, has his front door sealed up. Looks like he's already harvesting gas, so he might be thinking about a 2-factory push here. I would not be surprised if that were, in fact, the case. He's going to start sending out a scout, and so we see his core going down. I'm kind of curious. Maybe JangBi's just trying to wait for that scout to go by, and he was thinking he was going to be able to sneak something in. But yeah, that probe at that 9 o'clock position really has me kind of puzzled.
Yeah, that looks like a pylon's going up here. I'm gonna guess. I'll just be cavalier. I'm gonna guess a robotics facility is gonna go up there. It would seem to make sense if he decided to build gateway earlier. Gateway just would make less sense, I guess, unless it was, I don't know, thinking about doing some kind of crazy Dragoon rush. But I'm going to guess it's going to be a robotics facility there, or, I mean, yeah. That's my guess. And looks like the Zealot here on the front door. Yeah, it is a robotics facility. Yeah, thanks. I think the Zealot on the front door might actually, I don't know, lead XellOs to think that there might be something going on behind there, though. Because don't a lot of protoss players in a map like this won't a lot of protoss players not make the first Zealot and just go straight for the first Dragoon?
Usually when, sometimes you'll see that, or if they're building that first Zealot, they'll take that Zealot and push it out in the field to try to inflict some cost, to try to do some harassment along the way. But now, as you can see, that robotics facility coming out the 9 o'clock position. My question is what does he put in the robotics facility? Does he go for that Reaver select? And it does look like XellOs is in fact going for that additional expansion, so this cheese is going to be fairly well timed. And so this is interesting, because this is sort of like what Dazang did, except at a cheese position. My question is will this pay off? And we'll see. He obviously gotta opt for Reaver first, because obviously not going to get an observer out from the cheese position. He has a Dragoon out, and so that is going to give XellOs a little bit of pause to thought. Maybe he is just playing the standard game. And now, we're probably going to see the robotics facility going into that position too. What's confusing me is why build the robotics facility out in the field if he is going to do it there? He might decide to build it in base simply because, I mean, there's not a real, I mean, that's really all in, putting it at the 9 o'clock position where you can just basically put it in your base and maybe lose the, probably going to lose gas either way. No, he's in fact putting it at that 9 o'clock position. We'll see if it ends up paying out for him, but in the meantime, XellOs is fast expanding, and I think that's the best possible option. If he's running into 2-factory, you'd just be getting run over, and so yeah, fast expansion, exactly what he's looking for, and I think this will be a little bit ahead of that engineering bay. It looks like the engineering bay getting down, but I think there will be a Reaver in there just before the turrets get up.
Yeah, definitely. This is really interesting because we were just discussing at the end of Game 1 what Dazang could have done differently and how Protoss players can adapt. And it looks like JangBi's actually thought the same idea that Dazang had, that on this map Protoss should go for an early sort of cheese, or in this case an early Reaver drop, which is exactly what Dazang did. But I think this might be a little more successful just because he's actually managed to get the Reaver out first. He's going for Reaver first instead of going for he went for Shuttle rather than an Observer, because Dazang was delayed by about 2 minutes because he decided to build his Reaver, then an Observer, and then a Shuttle. But looks like this is not going to happen for JangBi here. JangBi's just chilling out there waiting for the Reaver to pop out, and he's going to go immediately harass. And it doesn't look like XellOs is as prepared as C is. I do think C is quite good on defensive, and I don't know about XellOs' defensive capabilities. And it looks like the Reaver drop is going to be about to happen here. It looks like the Reaver has gotten into the base here. XellOs is about to respond here, but there's absolutely nothing around the command center in terms of defenses. It looks like two SCVs get killed here. It looks like XellOs is desperately trying to pull up this missile turret here, but I'm not sure if... Looks like another great SCV shot. Is this gonna... looks like it just hits the tank. Didn't get the SCVs.
At least in the meantime, he's going to be able to take some tanks out on the ground for free, which just inflicting kind of that gas hit early. Honestly, I think what JangBi should do in the meantime is bring those zealots up, because obviously those tanks not out in the field where they should be defending that secondary. So might as well bring your dragoon. He is now bringing them up. This is brilliant by JangBi, doing kind of a pincer attack. XellOs cannot defend his entire base against the Reaver harass and the dragoons that are starting to push
this is
up the
awesome.
door.
Yeah, I have to say this is a
here.
great strategy.
Brilliant
I think
strategy.
this is going to be huge. Yeah, huge trouble for JangBi here. For XellOs. Although I don't think necessarily the proxy position of the robotics facility was necessary, I think this strategy is quite good here, and it looks like XellOs has definitely been hurt economically. And now True Reaver's inside of his base here. They're going to be able to clear out these missile turrets and allow more mobility for these shuttles. And meanwhile, XellOs is just desperately trying to bring his SCVs back to and fro from his two bases, trying to avoid these deadly Reavers coming down from the skies. And really another tank getting killed here, and there's no mining going on in the main anymore. And actually, XellOs has lost all control over his main mining area. I think JangBi can just kill off supply depots there at will and do whatever he wants there. I think this is going to be just... I don't know what XellOs can do at this point. I think this is going to be pretty close to game here, and I have to say JangBi just really using the same plan as Dazang last game, but just pulling it off so much better. The execution was just a lot better, and I think that XellOs really was surprised more than C was last game, because he had no turrets up, whereas C already had several turrets up. I think that might have been quite a significant difference.
Yeah, I think the difference also with that observer time, but right now it just does not look like XellOs has... he does not have enough tanks to cover his base. As you can see, tanks just going down. I think JangBi realizes they're just taking tanks down left and right. His mining has just been ridiculously disrupted, and by ridiculous I mean like, holy crap, he's basically not mining out of his main. JangBi taking a huge economic advantage. That hero SCV there, it's like, I'll take it out, you know, taking it upon himself from the worker field there to do damage to the 9 o'clock. But that's obviously going to be taken care of in due time. More zealots... more dragoons, I'm sorry, pushing up. But in the meantime, at the very least, even if this isn't the fatal blow, JangBi's done exactly what he needed to do to get in a superior economic position. And wow, getting another shot off on some of these SCVs. Let's see if it actually does. Oh wow, how did that not kill? Like 15 right? SCVs right there. That is a really lucky explosion there for XellOs. But in the meantime, he's got two completely wounded tanks that are going down now to the Dragoon force that's pushing up. He's only got that single tank in the background, which finally taking out at least one of the Reavers.
Wow,
that second
absolutely
tank
pimp Reaver play. These two Reavers in the shuttle have just killed XellOs off, basically. I don't know how many tanks they've taken down. They've taken down at least, I'd guess, at least 8 tanks were taken down by those two Reavers alone, and it just shows what looks like the hero SCV might actually take down the pilot, but it just shows what unstopped Reaver harass can do. I mean, you just saw those 3 Dragoons manage to survive against like 3 or 4 tanks just because of the Reavers up there, just able to just give them air cover and air support when they needed it. And yeah, I don't see
pushing up. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what XellOs can do to come back in this. Yeah.
XellOs right now, actually, I think if JangBi felt like it, he could push in and take the game right now. I think XellOs realizes this as well. That might be a bunker on that front door. No, he's just going to do that old school supply depot tank turret trick, but completely out of tanks at this point. Now the Dragoon's starting to flood up. He's just going to ferry them over the edge, and I think XellOs is going to have to call GG in a second. With the gas he has, he cannot fight this attack off, not against the 2 expansions of JangBi, and this has been beautiful play from JangBi. Oh, about 5 SCVs that were surrounded there. Excellent play by JangBi. XellOs getting knocked out, or I'm sorry, he's going to go down to the losers match. So in the losers match, we're going to see Daezang versus XellOs. So the old school matchup versus, and on the winners round, we're going to see JangBi versus C, and that should be an excellent match as well. I'm going to be excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to be excited to see XellOs versus Daezang. Both of them are older players. XellOs harking back from the early days of StarCraft, so we could be seeing some really interesting old school style play. It'll also be interesting to see C versus JangBi, of course, because both are pretty top-notch players right now. So yeah, I don't have anything more to add, by the way, Diggity. I think this was a fun, good game, and looking forward to the winners game now.
So yeah, switching on to the winners match. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.